Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Travis Told You. I am your host, Travis Snail, and oh boy, we have come to the end for now. You know, the end. Here we are at the end of it all. But yes, it is that time to bid adieu to Travis Told You for at least 2024. Who knows when we'll be back in the future, and bid adieu to myself. You know what? Kill that music. And it's gone. Yes, this is it for me. Before I was going to try and make it after 9, my last one, because I was going to try and do my last, because I promised. I've broken a lot of promises in my life, and a lot, especially with Travis Told You. I think I said, oh, it'll be this month. I even said, oh, there'll be one more before this episode, and there was not. Life has been very busy. We've had lots of casts lately. Luckily, we've had lots of Patreon producers, so thank you all for doing that, because that's very nice and gives us some extra content to talk about and everything. But yeah, we're done. I'm about to be done for a little bit, but yeah, no, I was trying to do it before after 9. Just didn't have the time, and I also wanted to, because I like to try and do Travis Told You live. Just didn't have the time, and I didn't want to, because next week, hopefully, the only thing I got on the books is I might try to be on Marvel Alliance. So there you go. If you might want to catch me one more time, I'll be on there, because I wanted to go on one more time before I left, and I just haven't had the time. But Emily could always go into labor early, so that's what's happening. But if people don't know, myself and my lovely lady are expecting twins, and that could happen. Supposed to happen right now, a C-section on the Friday of this week, but you never know what could happen, and could also be pushed. We're not an emergency C-section. That's how it works with these situations, is hey, you're there for Friday, but if you get someone that needs emergency pregnancy or emergency C-section, something like that, we can be bumped, because it's just okay, we want to get this done, but luckily right now twins aren't in any peril, anything like that. They seem to all be doing well. For a while we had little worries because baby B was seemingly a little smaller, but it also seemed like maybe some scans weren't done correctly. Who knows if they were lazy or some students. I don't know. I wasn't happy when I got some information on something, but luckily I got relayed to them. I don't try to be like a Karen or be an asshole to people doing their job, and I was never an asshole, but at the same time, when it's twins and there's my lady and 2 people growing inside of her, and then I hear, hey, things weren't done exactly right, you get a little peeved, and you don't want to deal with Travis, and he's like a little peeved. And then luckily it's been straight shooting since then, and so far it's been good. So as of right now, that is the plan. Of course, in the Discord. Oh, 1 second. Oh, had a little neck crack there. Had to get it. If people are wondering, yeah, what I'm going to do, this is my last cast for a while. Who knows? I don't know when I'll be back. It's weird. This is the first time I'm going to be taking a real break from GV ever, because the other children I did like take a couple weeks off, but then I was kind of back right away, because luckily they're all little angels. As they get older, some attitudes, stuff like that. But no, love all my girls. And but luckily that was always easy. This, and even then, when it was a fourth one, that's fine. But twins, whole uncharted territory. I've tried to comprehend what's going to be happening, like 2 babies at once. I feel like I really won't know what we're into till that week of. I'm still trying to process it. This has gone by super fast. I don't know if it's just because work life is busy, life is busy, the podcast isn't busy, our filming life's been busy, everything has just been super busy. So that's just why, again, that's why I want to do it live. Very much apologize for anyone that asked, oh, you're going to do it live? I wanted to, but it was either record it now and for sure be an episode, or don't do it, because I don't want to be like, oh, well, I'll leave it next week, because if something does happen, at least I know with Marvel Alliance, hey, Chris and Brent, they've been flying that ship flying that plane, I guess, for a long time. I would like to be on, but I have no worries there. But what Travis told you, when we come back, I don't want to know, like, oh, I gotta record an episode, because I could be dead fucking tired. These things could be little demons keeping us up all night. So I was like, okay, gonna ensure an episode here, do it before everything's all said and done. But yeah, it's weird. My first long-term break is coming in the 10 year, and I will promise you that I will be back. Don't know when I will be back, but it will at least be for the 10 year, the month of the 10 year. I'll say that, because we are doing lots of fun stuff. I don't care. I'll spill all the secrets right now. It's my last show, right? Fuck it. What they gonna do? Watch, I'll sell my shares and everything like that. But no, we're gonna be doing every single. This fucking Stan is fighting me today. Fighting me. I think I fixed it. We're going to be bringing every episode back. So even if you're a new term listener, we'll tell you what's going on. But every show we've done, Rant, Rave, Repeat, Dynamic Duo, Star Wars Cantina Conversations, a bunch of other stuff. We're going to bring every spin off show. I think we should even bring comic versions back. Every one we've done that were, I would say, that had more than a couple episodes, that had like an extended run or something. And we'll bring the original people back. Like with a Dynamic Duo, gonna get Kyle and Liam on that. With other episodes, we'll try and get some other people that have been on before. I know, like Taylor wants to do like a Assassin's Creed or Geeks Creed or Raw or Not. We're gonna bring Ruben back, so we're gonna be the whole month of July and a little bit of August. We're doing our GV Day stream. I think we'll be maybe, imagine 10 hours. 10-year anniversary, which is nuts. A decade. A third of my life has been doing this, which is odd. But yeah, we're going to be doing that. And this is where I will put a little feeler on the Patreon. But what I want to do is there's going to be like Work Hard, Wolf Hard could come back. That there's going to be some deep pulls, everybody. Hunka, got to talk to those boys. But I've always wanted to do this. I want to be surprised, but this is why you listen to Travis told you. We're at least going to want to, especially now we got a little experience under our belt, 3-time now film festival award winner. Thank you all to everyone that's listened and support us on Patreon, because we couldn't have made that film without you and your support. So we very much appreciate it. So our success is your success. You guys are the lifeblood here, keeping us going. But I want to do it yearly, never had time. But what I want to do is some sort of like 22, 26-minute like. I don't want to say what it is. A sitcom of sorts. I want to make something very fun for the 10-year, like a mini short film. So that's why I'll say if there's anything you want us to cover, probably How We Met, we'll cover it in that. But anything you want us to know, anything about Geekverse in general, I'll make an overall post. But we're going to be making some sort of special that will be fun with us, probably have some recurring characters and stuff like that. So the 10-year, we got lots of things planned, so don't worry there. And plus, while I'm gone, I'll still be doing some work for you guys. I'll still be editing both the second film and what we have shot of the third film, and I'll be writing, because the plan is going to take a big break from filming this year, but then when I'm back, it's going to be go, go, go. I'm going to have all the scripts filmed. I'm going to have all the scripts ready for the our fourth film, and then potentially our fifth. I'm going to go like a motherfucker. Hopefully I'll have some time, but so I'll still be doing stuff. But yeah, this will be the last cast on Geekverse. I'll be done for an unforeseeable amount of time. We're just going to see how the situation goes, but I will be back, of course, for the 10-year for sure. And then, yeah, no, that's as usual. Support the shows. If you just listen for me, that is great. I always appreciate that, especially if you're listening to Travis Told You. I imagine you might just listen for me. Maybe there's a chance, but so please, support the guys. One, I don't want to come back to the sinking ship. Don't sink Geekverse. I have nothing to come back to. But no, and I think it's not that I never had like not faith in the guys, but like Kirkland, Taylor, Dillon, they're all like their peak of being podcasters. Maybe I won't say that because we can always be better, right? So, but I'll say as far as the 10 years go, this is the peak they've been so far. And not saying like, oh, I'm worried if I go, because there's many casts I haven't been on, but I think there's always like and that's partially me, right? Like, oh, I always want to be there, always want to be, on these things, not missing out, want to be hosting them. I feel like I can add to the podcast, everything like that. Especially as time gets busier, I could miss a couple. And that's where, to me, it's like I'm excited to be a listener again, and those guys will kill it. So please listen to Geekverse, the reviews, whatever. Those three guys will hold it down, and they'll be great. And support them because they're going to be working harder than they ever have. Not to say they don't work hard, but I just mean this sense of, they're down a guy, and they will be. There's times where it's like, oh, like last week, it's like, hey, Dylan couldn't make it, Taylor couldn't make it, Kirkland, Taylor, you got the newscast? Yeah, we do. That's down a guy, right? So if people are sick, family stuff, could be a little bit harder, and they got a busy couple months, like starting December, like What If, Skeleton Crew, Dexter, January, like Spider-Man, Friendly Neighborhoods coming out, like lots of stuff. So I would appreciate, please support them, and if the guys listen to it, I'm sure you'll kill it. I got no worries. I'm excited to be a listener, but yeah, I'm gonna be off Geekverse. I'm gonna be off social media. I'm gonna just do like a full cleanse. If anything really important were to come up, then of course, but I of course will post, a picture of the twins. So of course in the Discord, look out for that. I will spam you with a couple baby pictures, that everything's going to go swimmingly and according to plan. And that's where I'll be. I'm not going to completely be off to Discord because I will be, I think, for a little bit there. But that's one of the things Manny said, like, oh, will you be in the football one? Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'll be popping there because I like Geekverse or the Geekverse community chat, which I thank Dylan towards because I always before when we did on Discord, I'm like I hate this, and there's still things I Discord annoys me about, but I was like I don't like this, but it has created a great community where yeah I have people on Twitter still, but I feel like one, everyone uses it less because either, as I know people, we get older and we get busier, or it's just that it kind of sucks now the way it is with, how Elon runs thing, everything like that. But also, and people have gone to their apps, and then also it's just that people are not on it as much and stuff. And I'm not even on it as much. I try to limit myself and I tweet out the odd opinion, but mostly it's about work stuff, or if it's celebrating other like work stuff, meaning podcast or film, or other people's stuff, right? Or connecting with them. I use it more like just a messenger app, really, to stay, in touch with people from GUA and everything like that, or like Dave, or all the film junkie people like Scott and everything like that, right? So, or KC. So, um, yeah, but I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna say, hey, I'm gonna go black on that for a little bit, dark, and just wipe the wipe not wipe the man, but just clean the mind. Stay away from that. But Discord, that's a little different because that's just like I don't know. Twitter, there's people like stuff, retweet stuff. You can see stuff you don't want to see, and our Discord, which you can go down below. The link should be working. If not, please message us, and we will get you the right link, whether it's YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, wherever it might be. Oh, we will get you the new link. But yeah, sorry, I have like a weird thing right now. Like the itchiest, like, oh, you ever get that back your throat? It's like itchy, but you can't really get it because it's a weird spot. No, this last episode, my stand, my throat, all over the place. Luckily, I got some water. But Discord, I'll be in there. Maybe not as much, but I will be hanging out, talking in there because I love the community. As we've said before, we ain't some massive community. We luckily all the time we got a lot of listeners. We chart all the time on iTunes. We got a lot of success, like with Extra Life. So I'm very thankful. We're bigger than a lot of other people, but we're still not like it's not our day job, but I'm happy with the crew we have. And as I said, we've never had to kick someone from the Discord. No one's ever joined after 9. I'm like, oh, fuck, we got a weirdo or someone that's, just not pleasant or kind. Like, I'm very thankful for each and every one of you. I appreciate it. I've said this before, and like this, breaks the fourth wall because I feel like people don't like to say these things, but like, I completely understand whether you're listening and you hear the ads or you're on Patreon, that when you are on our Patreon, you're giving us your hard earned bucks to, of course, you get benefits and tiers and everything like that, but you support us and stuff like Adrenochrome, the movies. But even like to break it down, that stuff is where, hey, if I can make some income on the podcast, which luckily we have since around Endgame years, it makes that, hey, when I call in sick, I don't got to worry about, oh, my finances or like taking a hand in the wallet. Every one of you have made it very nice for myself, like for a life wise. There's many times I don't care. People sometimes try and hide that. I don't like to talk about money and things people make. Like, and again, not our day job. It's still just a nice little hobby side gig that we get some money from, but it helps my life out a lot. And you guys have literally, maybe there's a version of Adrenochrome, and there was. I tried many times. Maybe there's a version out there, but that is like the best version of what I could do right now. And you guys have helped me make dreams come true, and I very much appreciate that. And I appreciate all of you guys. And of course, we're still gonna be talking the Discord. And if you haven't joined there, jump in there. That's where I'll be. If you want to hear, I'll give little synopsises of like, oh, like that of a trailer or something, but full breakdowns. I'm gonna take a little break, but I love the community we have, and I love Discord because it's just like little geek first world where you go in there and we all got memes and jokes with each other, and we kind of know our likes and dislikes, and it's a good time. It's my favorite place. It's the best thing social media has ever done for myself. So I'll be in there. So I'm not completely gone. You'll hear me from the podcast. I will be gone for a little bit, and yeah, I am excited for the break because there was I think it's also with the filming stuff that catches up quite a bit, and it just feels like, man, there's a lot going on. With one baby would have been a big struggle to balance it, but I probably could have done it with two. Let's see. And yeah, we will see how that goes. So I appreciate all the well wishes. So what we're going to do here, as I threw it out to the patrons, people thought this was a good way to end Travis Told You. We're going to answer some questions. They're all variety of things about TV shows for 2024, 2025, the Batman, some football talk. And then I'm going to end it with my letterboxed, my rankings of 2024. You can hear my thoughts on Megalopolis and Honora, which I'll talk about here in a second. But, just because I definitely will not be back for around that time when I do like my end of the year ranking. So, because I'll definitely still be on paternity leave from just actual work. So that's where I'm going to do it now. And whenever I get back, I will do a Trash Told You, and I will do like a catch up, whether it's shows, trailers, movies, whatever happened. I'll say, because I'll still be watching this stuff. I won't be seeing it in theater, so it'll be a little bit later. But I'll still be watching this stuff, checking it out. So that's where I'll still give my opinion, go, okay, this is what I've missed and this is what I think about things. But I'll rank what I've seen so far. And luckily, other than Nosferatu, there's definitely probably some Oscar ones I don't know about yet. But for the biggest ones I know about, I think I've seen those all. Anora was one I wanted to check off. And I don't think there's going to be any that might get into like top 20. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong about like Gladiator 2 or like, I don't know, Moana. Maybe I'm wrong, but from what I think, other than Nosferatu, and there's some other Oscar films I probably don't know or have forgotten about, I think the majority of the things I've wanted to see, I have seen. So I'm lucky for that. So, but again, as we get into these questions, a big thank you to and thank you to everyone that just listens to the show, started it, and everyone that listens to the spinoff that is the gimmick. Same thing as Bubs and David. If you're listening to this, they'll have a few shows if you like wrestling where they'll be without me. Go support them. Those two guys have been great. I remember Dylan asking like how the first episode goes, and I was surprised how much chemistry us three had. But even David and S Bubs like talking and having certain cadences with each other because they knew each other because of Geek First, but it's not like Brent and David who work together and know each other in real life, or even like David and Chris who like hosted Marvel Alliance before. So as a rapport, like I threw S Bubs and David together because like, hey, you guys like wrestling, you're a newbie, S Bubs, trust you guy in the chair, David. I've talked to you the past few years, and it's been a great time. Check out last week's episode when we did that. If you're listening to this on Patreon, it's coming up. Yeah, no, please support that show. Those guys are great as well too. But yeah, just a big thank you to everybody. I very much appreciate you, and I will miss like I said, we'll be in the Discord, so I'll be keeping up with all the regulars. But I will miss the banter and the newscasts and the live chat and everything like that. But it is good to have like a little reset period. So let's get into this. Enough of the mushy gushy stuff. Okay, I'll start with Sam because Sam, you're one of those that said, "Hey, are you gonna be live?" And I'm sorry, Sam, didn't happen. But even then, Sam, when I was live, maybe I guess with your time change, it would have worked out. But you never know. I could have been live and it wouldn't even have mattered. You would have been asleep. It's like that time the last week or 2 weeks ago, stupid NFL draft we have, the GV fantasy draft. Sam he forgot to swap a player off his roster that was injured. So he was down a guy, still kicked my ass, still beat me. God damn it. Sam says, sad to listen to the last one, but so excited for you and your family. Thank you very much, Sam. Hope everything's happy and healthy and have an awesome time together. We should. I'm excited to see how the girls react to. And I will say, no, I won't say. I'll keep it still surprised. I do know the gender. I guess I'll tell this story quickly. I've always known the gender. It's always been the fast three. Also, we have Gwen, Ellie, and Logan, our three girls. And each time I had known, just because I'm impatient. I said that's one of my worst things in life. My worst qualities. I am impatient. Try to work on it, but I like knowing. So having the idea of, not knowing for 9 months, I want to know. And it was always, I would find out and Emily would not. And I did a good job. I'd lie to people, say I don't know. They'd ask me, wouldn't tell them. And it didn't bug me. I never let it slip to Emily. I am fucking cool, calm, collected. So this go around, I always said, okay, for our last one, which we planned for, and we're going 4 and 5, said I'm going to leave a surprise. This is the last one, right? And so that was the plan, and it's been this plan the entire time. Emily was still sticking to it, but then it was about a month ago where our doctor's like, said something, blah, blah, blah. I'm not even gonna say it because I feel like you'd pick up what it was, and I don't want to fully announce yet because just in case they're wrong. But they had accidentally revealed to Emily the genders of the babies, and and then she told me that because I felt like she felt like she was gonna let it slip. So that's how I found out. So I do know what we are having. It's fine because it happened relatively close to when it was gonna be, and we're gonna have so much going on that day. But yeah, so that's how we found that out. So we almost made the finish line, but no, it got spoiled. Sam's a Super Bowl winner. Just gonna go with the Chiefs. Just gonna go with the safe pick of the Chiefs. I think they'll continue the dynasty. I'm hoping for Clay if we get, because I think at this point when we were recording a couple weeks ago, I was very high on the Commanders, and John had said like, "Oh well, you got to pick somebody." I said, "You know what? I'll just I'll pick the Commanders. No rookie quarterbacks ever got to the Super Bowl. Here's gonna be the time. Past two games, I don't think so anymore. I've seen enough to go, there's some issues, not even just with Daniels, just with certain stuff. Like, go watch the game last week, Commanders versus Eagles. The way they let that get out of hand was fucking ridiculous. So there's a few teams, could be the Eagles, could be Lions. I'm not cheering, I'm not somebody that's actively cheering against the Chiefs. It would just have to be like, what team's on the other side? I'm all down for a team building a dynasty. I think that's always fun, and I like the Chiefs more than the Patriots. So rah rah for that if they can break a couple of records. But if it was someone like the Lions who hadn't won the championship, and like I have, Clay and other people that are fans of Lions, I would be cheering for them. Plus they're in the NFC, so that's the thing where it's like it all depends on the team. But I'll just say to be safe, the Chiefs. Sam says, any hype for Squid Game season 2? I would say go back a couple weeks on one of our newscasts. Me and Taylor did break it down and talk about Squid Game in depth, but I am excited for it. It's an interesting time coming out December. I guess for me, I'll probably catch up a lot of shows. Like, there's movies to catch up on too, but I mean, like, that will be my big stuff. Like, hey, I can't see Nosferatu right now because I can't get out with the kids, but I can see Squid Game. So I'm excited. I think I like that trailer more than Taylor and Dylan did, if I recall. I think Dylan was on the newscast too. But for me, I like the method of, okay, guy going in to try and save some people. Very curious to see what they do with the overall storyline. So I am excited, but I'm not like, oh man. But yeah, I got some hype there. Maybe as I get closer. Plus, oh god, what's the guy's name? Let's see, Acolyte. He was in Acolyte. He played. I've forgotten his fucking Acolyte. Lee Jun Jae. He played. You're right, Captain Soul, Jedi Master Soul. Liking him even tons more than I did when I watched the first season. So yeah, no, there's some excitement there. Me and Emily watched it together. So, and it has like Saw isms, so I kind of like that stuff. So I will definitely be checking that out, and I'm excited for that one for sure. Mike G, Superbad Mike says, gonna miss you on the pause, but enjoy your time with the family. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it from a fellow Canadian. And thank you for this year for people that did participate in Music League. Tons of fun. That was another good kind of just thing, thanks to Taylor, we found. And for, I think, just almost a year, we were in the Music League making playlists together, voting on them. It was a very good time. Mike's sister gone there. It was good. It was a good time to end it because I think we had, I'd love to bring it back in the future, but we'd gone through so many playlists and music that we're all ready. But it was a fun time this year. Can we have your TV rankings too? Also, oh, right. This is the question that I was worried about. Also, seeing as we are halfway through the decade, what are your top 10 movies of the decade so far? That's where I gotta get my letterbox up here. So for TV shows, I just left it to 5, Mike. Hopefully, I didn't forget any. I tried to do my homework and I looked at the list for this year and everything like that. But maybe, as classic Travis, the last 2 times we've ranked TV shows, I've always forgotten something. And I don't really have a particular order. I still have to see Shogun. I'll probably see it on my time off. I just never had time to watch a show with subtitles. So I'm going to probably say that would be on the list, but I haven't seen it, so I can't put it there. So I got Baby Reindeer, Fallout, Penguin, X-Men 97, and Batman Cape Crusader. There's a couple like House of Dragon, it was good, but still there's some disappointment maybe near the end. Stuff like, I think Invincible actually kind of fell off, unfortunately. Agatha was like a surprise. The Boys, for me, was the weakest season, so I have other ones, but those would be the top 5. I probably have Baby Reindeer at the front. That was an incredible show. Now, who knows? There might be some validity to some stories, whether they're true or not. Who knows? But as a show, take that all out. It's fucking phenomenal. Writing, performances, all that stuff. So that would be my top 5 that I hope I'm not missing anything. Now, for my of the decade, this is super tough, and I didn't even make the list because I was kind of intimidated to make this list. But let me get my rankings out here. Why do I not have? Okay, there's my 23. Because it's tough. Because like Emily's like, oh, that'll be easy for you. Just take each year's and everything. It's like no. It's like because it's like you have one year where it's like I got 3 here that I really like, and then 4, and then you're like, but I have. Do I want to include some from this year? Like it's very tough. Let's see if I can get the past. Why do I not have my 2021 movies? What's going on here, Letterboxd? Okay, 2024, 23. Okay, and then you go to page 2, and I see nothing there. Okay, page 3 maybe. 22. Here we go. We're cooking Frankie. I guess I just did. I not even do that? Would make no sense that I didn't do a ranking for 2021. What was like going on in Letterbox? I'll have to look. Oh, there it is. Okay, I don't know. It's Letterbox. So oh god, just even looking at 2024 already. This is super tough. Um, okay, let's make this list live on air here because this is why I didn't do it because I was scared. Okay, okay. So I'm gonna say, let's see here. Okay, so for to make it easy, these ones are a given. I got Everything Everywhere All at Once and the Batman. I'm not gonna put them in order right now, Mike. I probably will because I'm a stick like that. So that's what I got for now. Let me just go and I'll make some films here. Why did I have Birds of Prey? Was that a 2020 movie? Was it? Film, not the actual bird. Come on. It was 220. Man, it's been crazy. Let's see. Okay. So oh man, yeah, this is really tough. Okay, so let's see. I'm looking at my list. I'm gonna just pick the ones that I feel I'm vibing on right now, right? So 2020, I got Promised Young Woman and Soul, my top two in the Birds of Prey. Obviously, because not a great year, COVID, right? But I'm gonna put Soul there. I'm gonna take two from each year, probably three for the ones I feel strongest. So 2020, done. I got Promised Young Woman and Soul. Okay. And then 2022, I got the Batman Everything Everywhere All at Once. There's a lot of other ones like Bullet Train, Nope, Turning Red, Northman, Babylon, Top Gun Maverick. Great films, The Whale, Bones and all, but like none of those are like 10 out of 10. So I think I'm fine with just Batman Everything Everywhere All at Once. Okay, and then 2021 rankings. Oh my god. You got Green Knight, you got Dune, you got No Time to Die, Last Night in Soho, Spider-Man No Way Home. I'm not just reading off random lists. I'm reading off like the ones that I have up there. So Soho for sure. I don't think No Time to Die, and I feel like Dune, I can feel more comfortable with Dune 2 being on there because Dune 2 is definitely on there, part 2. Okay, and then 2023, just the top 6 alone. Saltburn, Barbie, Oppenheimer, John Wick 4, Poor Things, and Sanctuary. And like, ay, ay, ay. So I got Saltburn for sure, I think. Barbie, and then Okay. But then that brings me to this year, and that's Dune, Substance, Wild Robot. Oh, man. So I'm adding Substance for sure. And Furiosa. Wild Robot, I need more time on. Substance I've already seen twice. So if I were to have this list right now, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is my 10 right there. Okay. I think I'm comfortable. So there's a few of these like Furiosa, Wild Robot, I need to see again. Strange Darling, another honorable shout out. I guess I'll talk about 2024 in a little bit. But Mike, this would be my rankings right now. Is I got Everything Everywhere All at Once, the Batman. I think I would put Saltburn at 3, so we'll do that live editing right there. Let's see. I would go. Oh, this is tough. Like Dune versus Soho, but I'll put Dune there. Let's get rid of that. You're hearing my brain work in in real time. Okay, here we go. I think we're cooking now, Frankie. Okay, go down there. Okay, so I think I'm happy with this list. Even though Substance I'm gonna put a little lower, but I don't know. I need to see it a few more times. So okay, so I think I'm comfortable with this list. Top 10 for 2020, or no, top 10 for the decade so far. It would be Everything Overall at Once at number 1, The Batman, and that's like a 1A, 1B, really. I always say Everything Everywhere is the best movie. The Batman's my favorite. So that's your 2. Saltburn, Dune Part 2, Last Night in Soho, Barbie, Oppenheimer, Promised Young Woman, Substance, and Soul. Soul could maybe be replaced by Wild Robot. I'm going to have to give it some time and think about it. I need to see Wild Robot again, but I did really love that. But Soul is fucking phenomenal. But that is like there's stuff like leaving John Wick 4 in there. That's tough. Leaving Sanctuary off. Sanctuary for me is like a movie. That's like a, Why do I have that? Didn't I give this one? I gave it 5 stars. Why do I have Poor Things rated above it? Or did I eventually give? No, I don't know. I gotta fix that. My 2023 ranking's a little off there, but uh, yeah, there's some great stuff that's happened in the decade. So those were just like my quick, like okay, like even like Turning Red, like yeah, like Turning Red, I might have over Soul. Oh, no, Soul is just like emotional level of that. But yeah, there's some good stuff. So that would be my for the decade so far. But like I said, a couple of those I need to rewatch again to get a full feeling on that. So thank you very much, Mike, for that fucking brain hurting question. Because it's like, man, I don't even like. We're halfway through the decade. That's a tough list already. Now to think about in 5 more years, I'll have to have even one film better than all those. That's tough. Clay says, I'm going to miss hearing you on the pause, but it's been really cool to hear about y'all's big life change over the last how many years since I've started listening. Makes me feel old, though. I have one question. Yeah, I feel older and older as time goes on, especially Clay, you just hearing about this. Like for me, and like there's still some younger parents, but I'm definitely more on the younger side to have this many kids. Being in the school system, that's especially because it's my school that I went to, that makes me feel old, feel really old. But he threw in a random one here. You, Boyd, Holbrook, and Jordan Love have to defeat Darth Vader in the Battle of the Fate of the Universe. Can the three of you do it? What strategies would you employ? No, we couldn't do it. People that don't know, Jordan Love is a quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, my favorite team. Has lots of potential, but as we've seen this year, and what I describe Jordan Love as, you know that scene in Attack of the Clones when it's Dooku versus Obi-Wan and Anakin, and Anakin gets like very feisty and goes for it and just gets kind of taken out for a little bit, gets his arm chopped off. That to me is what Jordan Love would do. Lots of talent, but is going to go way too ham, way too early. Boyd Holbrook, I don't know, like, is he going to be exactly like the characters he plays? He could be, put up a good fight and maybe I trust him, but then sometimes he might be an asshole that I don't know. He could get a little reckless as well, but I got a better chance, at least me and Boyd doing it. But like, I have no powers. I guess if I have the force, maybe that'll help. But if I don't have the force, then yeah, sorry, universe, I'm not saving you, especially with Love and Boyd. I like those guys, but even myself, I can't go up against Darth Vader. I guess I just gotta. Do I at least get the knowledge though of? It's not like I'm in the Star Wars universe, right? Because you're using real people. I get the knowledge of Darth Vader. I feel like I can't beat him physically, but maybe mentally. I'm gonna hit him on the Padme note. Gonna talk about his mom. I'm gonna talk about Obi-Wan. I'm gonna hit him under the belt, and maybe that'll get him rocking, and then I'll be able to get the win. So that's my strategy. Is more Jordan loves the sacrifice. I'm going for the emotional play. Boyd Holbrook hopefully can hit him with a nice roundhouse kick or something. So, Maddie says top 10 most anticipated for 2025. That is tough. I will sustain for or withstain. I don't know, something like that. I won't answer just in case I am back. I would like to be back for Golden Geeks. If not, they'll have my opinions in there. But in case I am, I don't want to go over that because then I would be kind of retreading some stuff. I will say that my number one is, people are probably gonna guess this, but it's the new Wallace and Gromit movie. I fucking love Wallace and Gromit. We don't talk about enough in the cast. Talk about a couple of newscasts ago, but that is in the soft spot of my heart. It's like in Inside Out when Riley has like whatever they're called, those core memories or whatnot. When I think of children movies, things that bring me love when I was watching, it's like stuff like Goosebumps. It's Toy Story. It's the animated comic book stuff. So Batman, Spider-Man, X-Men. There could be like Star Wars is definitely in there. Wallace and Gromit was in everyone. Wallace and Gromit, I had them all on VHS. I watched them over and over. Those characters mean a lot to me. Those are just touchstones for me. And now, luckily, they're something that I've grown up where you watch Goosebumps, Afraid of the Dark. Okay, some of this is cheesy bad acting. Those have withstood the test of time. So that's my most anticipated. Yeah, it's tough because I'm not anticipating like the biggest movies. Let me just quickly pull up first showing. So I'm not going to give you the full list, Maddie, but I'm going to go give you like each month a quick thing like Wolfman. I'm excited for because Lee Winnell, but I haven't loved those trailers. February, same with Captain America Brave New World because we've heard so much, and I've liked the trailers, but haven't been blown away. I'm somewhat excited. The monkey, I should be more excited after long legs, but I haven't loved those trailers. I think there's a lot of I can't remember. I looked at them. I think a lot of the movies that are the more Oscar baity stuff is the things I'm looking forward to, like Sean Penn, like the new Paul W. The Wes Anderson, not Wes Anderson. Fuck, who is it? Who's Leo in? I'm mixing three directors up in my mind. Maybe it's Paul W. Anderson, right? What am I thinking? Oh, no, not Wikipedia. That's not going to give me what I'm looking for. Where's IMDb? Okay. Because I always mix it up with the fucking stupid Resident Evil director that has that similar name. He has 11 projects upcoming, Leo. Wow. Okay. Let's see. This doesn't help me at all. 11 projects? God damn it. I thought it was going to be an easy search. Oh, yes, something coming up. I don't think it's. Yeah. Okay, maybe I'll go to Regina Hall. I think she's in the movie, right? Hang on. Bear with me now. It's coming. Paul Thomas Anderson, right. And then Paul W. Anderson's the fucking Resident Evil guy, right? Yeah, like Leo, Benicio del Toro, her, Sean Penn. The plot is like kept under wraps. Like it's definitely more of that type of stuff that I am looking forward to in 2025 that is untitled or just we've heard like a few things about. Like even like Fantastic Four and Superman. I'm more excited about I'm always excited because I'm a comic book fan, right? But there's certain ones where it's like with James Gunn doing Superman, like I don't love Superman, but I'm excited to see the fall, excited to see the start of the new universe, and I hope that I love this movie. F4, love the cast. My dream casting of Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm came true. It's like Oscar Isaac. It's like, oh great. Hopefully it's better than Moon Knight. But again, I'm not like, fuck, I can't wait for Fantastic Four because I'm not an F4 guy, but I hope I will be after the fact, and I want to read some more comics leading up. That's the other thing I want to do my time off is catch more comics. But like Disney Snow White, no. Like the Amateur, like yeah, that looks fine. Mickey 17, that's definitely one that's up there. That's up there in the top 5 there. Thunderbolts, yeah, I'm excited because of Pew, but I'm not like, oh, Jones and Fort, Mission Impossible. Excited because the last one, but I didn't love the last one. I'm excited because it's the final one. I did not love the previous one. I think I had that ranked second last because the Entity. So we'll see about that. Ballerina, that's a big question mark. 20 years later, I'm excited, but I wouldn't say like, oh, I'm super pumped. Jurassic World, we'll see. Freaky Friday, yeah, that should be fun. Conjuring, again, that should be fun. Saw, there's one up there that I'm anticipating. Michael, the Michael Jackson biopic, just to see. Predator Badlands, that's up there. I'm excited for that one. So a top 10, Maddie, is very hard. I think it's going to be like another movie that's not going to be in my 2024 list is Queer. There's one I just thought about now where that's one that could rank really high for me, and I'm very excited to see that. So I think it is more those smaller movies. It's funny you asked this, and there was another movie I saw too. I was like, oh yeah, like I would put that there, and I completely forgot. But it's all smaller stuff, It's all things that are going to be the biggest movies of the year. So I think 2026 is the year I'll have more anticipation hype for because you got new Nolan movie, new Batman movie, new Jordan Peele movie. Hopefully Scorsese has another movie. Like 2026 can be a massive year. Lots of things I'm excited for, but a top 10, I'll wait because, like I said, Golden Geeks, we probably would do that if I'm back. Or at least I'll think about, okay, what do I actually want to put in those spots, even if I'm not on the cast. But I'll give you Wallace and Gromit. That's what I'll give you. Let's see. Oh, and then he asked final predictions, which this is good and sad because that is going to be I'll probably miss a Superman trailer. I will be bummed if they announce the Batman 2 stuff and I won't be here for that. That's one where I'm not sure the boy's going to telephone me in, but like who knows, man, I don't have time, but that's going to sting. But yeah, so because who knows, they might start announcing it soon after Penguin. Manny asks. Sorry. Got a lot of H2O there. Batman final predictions for Batman 2 before the official news starts dropping. Which new characters will we get? Your final casting predictions, actors you want versus acting that will get cast, and final prediction on plot details for the story. So the cast stuff is really tough because I think with Reeves, with the first one, we did know that Riddler was the villain that was going around, but I think like with Penguin, maybe it was. I can't remember. No, there were rumors before. So usually the rumors break of the characters, but this is a little bit different, right? Because like Reeves has already been writing and everything. So let me get my jacket here, my cardigan. It's getting cold in here. So I guess that depends, right? Because it's hard for me to say like, here's my top choices for blank, because like I can't think of like here's my 5 choice for Mr. Freeze, and Mr. Freeze isn't in there, right, Maddie? So for me, it's tough for. I will tell you who I think's in there, and then kind of a casting archetype or somebody I might think, but I think you gotta have Selena Kyle back. Like I feel like that's not been reported, but to me that kind of has to, especially with so with the other Batman Catwoman things we've gone, right, is Batman returns, Catwoman's there, she never comes back, but they go through everything you could, right? Bruce and Selena fall in love, the vigilantes, they find each other personalities, X, Y, and Z, and then Michelle Pfeiffer's gone. So they kind of did it all, right? And Batman and Catwoman, that's not a movie, but make it one. In Dark Knight Rises, Batman and Catwoman again kind of go through it all, but it's the ending of a trilogy, so you're not going to get any more. And I'm happy they end up nice and married together. Great. For this one, they end in a way where there's so much stuff. Bruce Wayne's not interact with Selena Kyle. So that's a big thing, right? We haven't seen Selena Kyle really in the real world, along with a lot of Bruce. We haven't even done the whole, Selena finding out Bruce is Batman. To me, with Matt Reeves starting with Catwoman and leaving it, it'd be different if it ended with, "Hey, I'm Bruce Wayne, and I was watching you through the mirror. Or I had my binoculars on. I was watching. You looked good." Um, that's the Pattinson voice. I'm still working on it, but like Bales is really here. Pattinson's is like, it's not a warning. It's a symbol. It's very muted. He went the opposite direction, but still growly. The fact that they started a Batman trilogy, hopefully trilogy, with all these questions still left up in the air, I think you space those like between them all. I would hate for her to be in the Batman, not be in part 2, and then Batman 3 pick up on this. I would not. I'm sure I could enjoy it because Matt Reeves is a masterful writer and director, but I want them to be sprinkled throughout. So I think she's back. The Penguin characters, I don't like. I don't think the person that got the letter, I'll say, I want her to be in it, but I don't think she will. But I'm hoping, would love that fucking announcement. That's gonna hit that's gonna be chills right there. Um, I think you'll get another, because who did we get? We got Catwoman, Penguin, Falcone, and Riddler. I think you'll get some sort of other mobster character. I don't think Rupert Thorne, because he's going to be in the DCU, and I think obviously there's going to be some crossover, but if you could avoid it, that'd be nice. I would really like it if they could get Black Mass, Roman Sionis, because I love the Black Mass character. He's a big part of No Man's Land. I just am a big fan of Roman and just some of his ties. He's a fucking weird dude with his family connections. I think he would fit in this world. And here's the thing. What Ewan did with him in Birds of Prey, I really enjoyed. I loved that version. To me, that I can't say that wasn't Black Mask. It was, but it wasn't the Black Mask I preferred. Now, it was still a great performance, so I appreciate the new addition to the character. But I'd still like to see a more comic accurate, brutal Black Mask. That's a guy, like, I'm trying to think the best way to describe him. He's just cold and calculating, but he is a little nuts. So if you read about stuff with him and his mom, his parents, he's like comes from money, you could tie it to that. So, and for casting, God, I really don't know. Like, that's tough. I'd have to look at my letterbox and like see actors out there right now, like who could play a good Roman Sionis. And plus, this is the other tough thing, Maddie, right? It's like, let's say Roman's in there, but it's like, oh, but he's like the role of Penguin, where he's a mobster, but it's small. That's a tougher one to get, right? So tough for me to say. I think they would just get somebody that's a great actor. It's dumb to say, but someone that could sink themselves into a character. I do think we get Harvey Dent back. There's been a lot of good castings. I like the Hartnett one. I like the Boyd Holbrook one. I like the Oscar Isaac one. Like, I've not really seen so far a bad Harvey Dent casting. I think they've all worked very well. Like, do I have a particular one? I think the one that I heard, and I don't know if it would happen, but the Joel Egerton one is the one that I go, man, that's got me, that's got the juice right there. So that's what I would like. But I do think Harvey Dent's in this. Obviously, the DA is dead, so he needs someone. And I'll say my final prediction is I'm still gonna go with Hush. Now there is stuff like, hey, Clayface's sister's in Penguin. I don't think we're getting Clayface. I think it's just Matt Reeves using characters like Magpie in the universe to flesh it out. But I'm hoping we do because Thomas Elliott's dad is in the Batman, like he's mentioned. Literally on the newspaper, it says Hush. It would fit that story. I do understand people go, well, that could get similar to be like the Riddler, murder mystery, cloaked guy, but I think you find a way. And I think the way you make it different is Matt Reeves even said last week where this story so far, only kernel we've got, he said this is the hardest it's been for him to be Batman. He's finding it very hard to be Batman. Why? Because what I like is we've never really done this in the movies. In the animated shows, the comic books, big thing is, are the villains always going to become villains, or does Batman create the comic book villains? Not the mobsters, but like the Jokers, the Riddlers, how eccentric they get. Do they feed off the Batman? It's a good chicken and egg scenario, right? And it feels like that's what they're going to do here because, one, the Riddler thought he was working with Batman. He's like, oh, you and I together? We could do this? And then remember that guy that he beats the shit at the end when he says, who are you? And he says, I'm vengeance. Like, that's what he said, right? So I think he's had that complex of, fuck, did I create these guys? And I think that's where he might go to, okay, I got to help more as Bruce Wayne. What do I do? That's where you make Hush different. At times, they've been connected when they were children, whether they're just acquaintances, whether they were friends. I think that's what you do. You make it more about the identity of Bruce Wayne or just the feeling of loss of identity, trying to feel yourself. The Batman has a bit of that there, but I think you can really lean into that. To me, the Batman is way more about, it's the classic ones of like, okay, how far are you going to go, right? As far as there's certain routes of, killing, not killing. They have that whole thing with Selena of, your vengeance. They kidnap people, killing Falcone. There's a line you don't cross, sins of the father, everything like that, like fighting for something that you thought you believed in. That might not be entirely true. So belief is in there. So I'd say like the biggest themes of the Batman is you always got loss, is you got belief, and then you got just a morality as far as how far. It's like the Dark Knight in the sense of both movies have that how far are you willing to go, but in different instances. To me, if this is about identity and kind of guilt in a sense, I think that's what you can hit on with Hush. And who would I get for that? Tough, right? Because in the comics he's Ginger, so like you could get another like Paul Dano type. I think there's also times where Hush he's a plastic surgeon and he takes the identity. I've heard people say this where I'm not completely opposed that you get Robert Pattinson, maybe not the whole way, but you get to play some of the villain because you could assume the identity of Bruce Wayne. Could be fun. But to me, it's like with all these so far, we only had a few scenes of Batman, right? But it's like Paul Dano, Rob Pattinson. That's a great pairing. Recently, there was a picture that came out. It was like Barry Keoghan and Pattinson together. I don't know if it was an older one, but it was just going around. And it's like, man, these are two actors like I really want to see have scenes together and just something like an equal to Pattinson as far as like another great actor, right? So let me just quickly pull up my letterboxd for this one just to see like who is a current day actor like I want to see go head to head with him. Now you could go obvious with some of the Dune characters like Austin Butler, Shyamalan, but I don't think there's anyone Furiosa. Dev Patel actually kind of would be. Ooh, fuck. And because I don't care, it's like obviously like it's a ginger white dude. Some people might be like, "Oh my god, you did this." No, like if you want to go ginger white dude, great. If you don't, that's not essential to Hush. But that wouldn't be like awful. Like to think about like Pattinson and Dev Patel going at it. I don't know. That's a pretty good one right there. That's all I got from the list of this year. Let's go to 2023 here. You already got Barry. And I don't think Jacob's gonna do that. So is there anybody else? Like not like a terrible pick because I'm liking him more and more. Like Christopher Abbott. Now he's not the biggest name. At least Paul Dano had some name, but like I think you just have to get an interesting choice like you have with Dano and Keegan. Not someone that's why I almost pull away from a Lordy. You need to get someone that's not uber popular yet, but still popular enough. Yeah, so that's what I think, and I think they'll do Hush, and then you lead in the Joker, and then you're good to go. You know, you got your trilogy. So okay, let's see. Let's pull this up. Let's do this. So I try to get some more films. As of right now, only have 73 films ranked for this year. There will be more. Last couple of years have been close to like 120. I probably will watch them a little bit here. But so as usual, what I'll do is I'll go from my bottom to my top. If I've reviewed the film, I'll just give a quick little thoughts, but say, hey, go check out the film. If I haven't, I'll talk a little bit about that, and we'll go from there. What I have currently ranked as my last film, and usually every year I have multiples of these, the 0.5 ratings, but I don't this year. Woody Woodpecker Goes to Camp. Now, I get it. It's a kid's movie. Completely understand. So you should maybe rate on a curve, right? No fucking no way. Watch this with the girls because I love doing movie nights with the kids. It's a good time. We used to do it with my family. It's something. I'm a movie guy. I podcast, love movies, director, love doing that stuff. So I heard New Woody Woodpecker, great. That first one on Netflix a couple of years ago, not great. I think it was made and then Netflix bought it. Not great, but sure, let's give it a go. This movie felt so long. It reminded me a couple years ago when I watched Marmaduke. It's just like they're like hour and a half, but they feel like Lord of the Rings extended trilogy long. These movies, or this movie in particular, was really bad. I get it. It's a kids movie. You can take it with a grain of salt, but that's where it insulted the senses. It hurt to watch this movie. Next, 72 got Madam Web. Obviously, there's a review. You can go check that. And then 71 next by got Venom Last Dance. Fuck the Sony movies. Not a fan of them. You guys know this. They're at the bottom list. They're both stars, so they're not the lowest rating you give it. There's always something in there. I go, okay, I'll give it an A star, but yeah, bottom of the list right now. We'll see. I'll probably watch a couple Christmas. I will. Me and Emily will watch a bunch of really bad Christmas movies this year. They have a chance to go there, but I'm pretty happy with this being my bottom three. The two Sony movies and then Woody Woodpecker. I guess I still have Craven that I'll see on VOD, so I'll update you that when I get back. But I bet that's bottom 60 and below. A Megalopolis. Oh, man. So it's interesting with this movie. I feel like I understand some scenes, but I think people were very hyperbolic as far as what they're saying. It was like so game changing. You're not gonna know what you watch, and then some people be like, "It's so bad. I can't believe they did this." To me, it was like a combo of the middle. Like, oh, there was some cool looking stuff in there, some cool potential ideas, and then there's some really bad dialogues, really bad acting, some really bad pacing. Yeah. So obviously, I got this rated at 70. Not a fan. I've said this. This is what I'll say is Aubrey Plaza's tons of fun. They have so many themes that they're juggling that they still don't really know what they want to say. In my opinion, they didn't stick to one lane. And my final thoughts, which I don't like saying, this hurts me. People in the Discord will know. For years, I'm still going to give them the credit because right now I say, hey, I have my ranking, right? Maybe when I come back and if Travis told you returns, I'd love to finally do my actor ranking and do like a March Madness with you guys in the rank. But I still give him the credit and say that, Adam Driver, I think, is still the best working actor today. I got Emma Stone in the number one slot for the ladies. This is the first time I've ever seen Adam Driver in a movie for a long time. Now, there's many times where he's been in bad movies, like a 65, but I would never say he's bad. Even if I can't say 65 is like a great performance, but like, nope, that was all decent good. He brought the chutzpah. This is the first time, man, this reminded me of when I saw Michael Fassbender in Assassin's Creed of like, ugh, you brought my boy down. Yeah, I can understand why people would like this. Like I said, to me, it's like a Star Wars prequel level of dialogue, but worse. So take that for what you will. I was ready to be done with that at the end, but I was curious, wanted to watch. Francis Ford Coppola, obviously legend, done many great films, so want to check it out, and I will never ever watch it again. He went that way at 69. It's a movie about Zachary Quinto and Jacob Lordy, and there's like a stunt monkey, and they go on a road trip together. But Jacob Lordy's like a serial killer. Weird enough, sounds like the trailer made it look like it had potential. The movie was like just fine. Kind of like a nothing burger, unfortunately. Even like Lordy and Quinto, don't think they got to show off their skills. 68, Mother of the Bride. That's God, what's her name? Oh, let me just search it here. Oh no, I can't. Mother of the Bride. What the fuck is her name? She's popular. Brooke Shields. I don't know why I spend that much time. It's a fine meh. No, it's not fine. It's a meh Netflix comedy. Another meh one, Irish Wish. Now, so far I've liked Lindsay Lohan's Netflix comeback. This wasn't good. And this also didn't have like the so bad it's good, or they were kind of in on the joke. Felt like they were playing it too serious. Was not a fan. Boy Kills World, that Bill Skarsgård movie. Was not a fan of that. That kind of got annoying at times. Roadhouse might be my dumbest movie of the year. So I got that one half at 65. At 64, I got Strangers Chapter 1. And then 63, I got Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scargiver. Obviously, we reviewed those. You go back and check them. We're in the 2-star ratings now. So the only 1.5 stars I had was Mother Bride, Irish with Boys Kills World, and Roadhouse. Now we're in the 2 stars. Mean Girls at 62. Just thought it was like I wanted a little more from the. I feel like it was stuck between being a non-musical and a musical, and I just felt like the musical numbers just were not that good. Like for the film, I just wanted a little bit more of be out there, be musical, and I don't even like musicals, and alas, that's what happened. Ricky Stenicki. If you like John Cena, I guess watch it. Not the greatest comedy. I don't actually know why I have it at 2 stars. I would probably put Mean Girls. I'm going to switch that right now. Mean Girls is going above Ricky Stenicki. Okay? You get that win for you, Mean Girls. Be happy. Upgraded. That's some rom-com on Amazon Prime. It was fine. Cute enough. A little generic. We're in the 2.5 stars now. Night Swim. Some cool moments, but not the greatest. Not the greatest movie. We talked about it the GV Day, and it's not that memorable either. I remember very little from it. Miller's Girl. This is the movie where it's Martin Freeman and Jenna Ortega. Jenna Ortega is like a writer student, and she writes like this sexy piece. And I think she's like, I've seen the movie. Just bear with me. I think she's like trying to sleep with him, and he says no. So she like frames him to say that he like assaulted her, and it's a whole thing. This wasn't that good. It was I was waiting to see Jenna Ortega maybe be in this more like devilish role. The third act here really not good as well. So I can't recommend that. Oh, Despicable Me 4 at 57. Oh, excuse me, it's late here, and I'm feeling the. Does this sound like a guy ready for twins? This is why I'm taking a break from the podcast. My body's shutting down. Now we're at the 3 stars now. Fun enough. Bottom tier of the Despicable Me and Minions movie. I think they're obviously doing more because they're always like $1 billion to $950 like this one. For me, I feel like it's losing steam. Now they'll probably be able to crank out a couple more movies and get some money, but I just feel like after I saw this, I think we might be done with like the best ideas, or we just need a break from the Minions and crew for a bit. But money speaks. So, Damsel, fine enough movie. I had a good time watching it. Nothing special, but I wasn't expecting anything special, so it ended up being okay. Argyle, I passed it. I don't hate it as much. I don't even hate it because I passed it. I think some of it's a little unnecessary hate and overblown. I do get why someone would fail this, but I had a good enough time with it. I like Sam Rockwell and I like Bryce Dallas Howard. I don't know if they had like the best chemistry together, but I enjoyed it enough. Oh god, Deliverance. That's a Netflix. God, it's the guy that directed The Butler. Lee Daniels. He did a horror possession movie. Some good moments, some good scares. The story overall, not likable characters. But if you're in a possession mood, there you go. We're at 50 with If. Was kind of expecting a little bit more from this one, and I'm very curious what Krasinski does next. If he just goes back to Quiet Place and does part three of those, or if he does something else. I think after Quiet Place, everyone's like, man, Krasinski's gonna be like another top tier director. And then Quiet Place 2, I feel like we didn't hear that. Even though Quiet Place 2, I remember really liking. I don't know if I gave like a I feel like I would have given it maybe like a 4.5 out of 5. I don't know, but I enjoyed it. Killian Murphy, great addition. If not as much, I thought there was some the rules were a little shaky, and I just didn't. It wasn't as charming as I wanted it to be. So I digress. Number 49, Watchmen Chapter One. This was fine, but it was just literally the book, and it was just we're gonna adapt it and do voices on it, and I thought it was fine. I thought there was a few voice actors that were miscast, so that's why it's just a 3. But it was to the point where I just didn't feel like I was getting a new take from this at all. So that's where I always agree where you can't adapt every comic book, and even with Zack Snyder when he did it, I think he did a great job. But I mean like adaptation like through and through, because maybe if you haven't seen this, you would be fine. But there's the movie, there's the show, and then there's this. I don't think you need to watch if you're a Watchmen, or unless you're a big Watchmen fan. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2, you can go back and we did a commentary track for that with the patrons. That was tons of fun. I enjoyed that, gave that a passing grade because I thought they leaned into the silliest more. Abigail, thought that was a fine, fun time. I think I'm a lot lower on that than other people. I think people have shared like certain clips and everything. I gotta switch this. Abigail's higher than my next one at Salem's Lot. That's a mistake there. Salem Lot, same thing. I didn't hate it. It was a good Halloween watch. I saw a lot of people poo pooing on it, but for me, it was like just fine. It was a fine, good little vampire movie. Same thing with Abigail. Abigail, I'd say I was disappointed in though because I felt like I heard so many good things and it didn't live up to that. Fall Guy, obviously reviewed that. You can go back and check. That's at 45. We're still at the 3 stars. Joker Fully Adieu, closing out at 3 stars. Number 43 and 42, and then 41, I'll knock out all together. We're in our 3.5 stars. And I guess I used to be funny. And Spaceman and Cuckoo, all these ones. Yeah, Cuckoo, all these. The Apprentice, that's the Donald Trump movie. I enjoyed it enough, but I feel like it did need a bit more flash. Like Sebastian Stan's playing a very reserved Donald Trump, and obviously they're not doing the election years, and it's just the youngin' years, so there's lots left on the table. But it just didn't hit to a memorable state. I get what they're going for, but then they try to not humanize Trump, but show like, oh, he wasn't always like this. But I don't know. I never was too engaged by it. Anna Kendrick's Woman of the Hour, I enjoyed that one. Same thing. This was the first one where the festival hype like killed me because they're like, this is, the next big thriller. And like, I thought it was fine. Thought the guy who played the killer did a really good job. But yeah, good debut. There's a couple of shots, especially in the mountains there. Really beautiful stuff. So excited to see more. Trap, I spoke about a newscast, but I enjoyed it. I get why some people won't, but I thought it was it felt comedic enough, and that worked for me. I Used to Be Funny, Rachel Sennett project. I like that. That was a good one about this babysitter going through some trials and tribulations with a family, and the babysitter turns on her. It's a dark comedy, I'd say. Match your expectations because I don't think it's like that dark, but like dark enough. Cuckoo, that's one of the more disappointing ones this year. We're still at the 3.5s, but yeah, I wanted a little bit more from that, and just don't think they stuck the landing there. In a Violent Nature, I'm on the camp of liking it. I think it does fall apart in the third act, and just some pacing wise and even the structure of the story feels like we kind of break the rules, but I digress. Liked it enough. Beetlejuice, obviously there's a review. Rebel Ridge, I enjoyed that. It was a good, solid, cop flick, anti-cop attack the cop sort of deal. I enjoyed it. I thought the movie had some issues in the middle of it with this, character that had the child. Thought that wasn't needed, but I digress. Terrifier 3, which again, some of these two I have done many reviews and newscasts. This is the first Terrifier that I think is an actual really good movie, and I think it's, yes, they got a bigger budget, but both the cast, the crew, and the director all feel like they've leveled up. So you got that going on. And these are the 4 stars now. Drive Away Dolls, I enjoyed that a lot more than other people. Again, I get why people maybe didn't, but just all the humor hit, and Margot Qualley was great. Hitman, that was one that I really enjoyed it, but I was expecting that to be higher on the list. It was I think same thing, another pacing issue, just not as funny as I was hoping. Kinds of Kindness. This was a funny one because I got it rated as a 4. I think my enjoyment level is like a 3.5. Could be like a little lower, but the acting and some of the shots, the way they construct the stories, from a filmmaking level, I gave it a 4. But as I've told the story before, it's funny where it's like it was the favorite. Oh, and there's another one. What did Yorgos do here? But anyways, I saw Poor Things for Emma Stone and the choices there, right? And I was very, when we saw the trailer, I was very excited, right? Okay, so like The Lobster, The Favorite, Killing Sacred Deer, I do really like that one. So put that aside. But uh, his movies, I always love the concept, and sometimes the execution is not there for me. I don't think from to me it to be bad, just for my personal enjoyment. But Poor Things was, so it's like, okay, Kinds of Kindness, lots of actors I like, looks unique. I'll give it a shot. But then this fell in that same category of it checks those boxes, very well made movie, but I didn't enjoy a lot of my time with it. I think that's a combo of just certain things for me, but also just like like not the strongest, but still 4 out of 5, not too bad. But yeah, I'd say disappointed because I was kind of hoping I was going to go on like a Yorgos run where I would like everything he liked, but or I would love it. That's what I'll say, that I loved it. Like I love Poor Things. Killed Sacred Deer. Don't know if I would put in the love category, but gotta watch again. I really enjoy it. A Different Man. This is a movie where, and it's based off a real guy where he has a bunch of face tumors and they've kind of overgrown his face, and he has like a much bigger, magnified head because of these tumors. He plays this character, and the actor they base it on is in the movie as well, but he plays this character that gets the surgery, get those removed. I kind of forgot, like, I, Tanya, and there was another one too. He was just, oh, what was it? Oh, and Fresh. There's a couple performances where I go, okay, I'm liking here, but I feel like since I really saw him, because I know he's in some TV show like a teen one, but from Falcon, from First Avenger and on, other than I, Tanya, and the other one, Fresh, which I mentioned, I always thought Sebastian Stan was like a meh actor, like good enough, not bad, just can get the job done, right? Like for a director, they call him like a shooter, and I'll say the same thing. So this is ranked at 29, and then Blink Twice is ranked at 24. That's the same thing I had with Channing Tatum, that I kind of gave up. I'm like, I don't think there is I think you've hit the ceiling of like, I've seen how good you can get. And both Channing Tatum in Blink Twice and Sebastian Stan, Different Man, prove me wrong. And so Stan, to the point in this movie, he made me excited to see the things he's going to do outside the MCU, because I think Bucky's Bucky, but I want to see more roles in him in these bigger type of chances. I really enjoyed the movie. It's like a weird dark comedy type of like thriller in a sense. Like, put the expectations down. It's not like re thriller, but it's just like, it's all about obsession, and it's all about your inner doubt and looking at the world around you and making it as good as you can versus trying to just change everything about you. Really, really enjoyed Act 1, Act 2. Act 3, I think, some of the movies I already said fall apart. This to me, I can't say, I'll tell you that. For my enjoyment, it fell apart. For the movie, it takes some odd, weird choices. It's an odd movie, and I don't know if those were great for the movie, but nonetheless, still enjoy this one. Late Night with Devil, that was tons of fun. Love the concept. Think they did a great job. They could maybe been like a little shorter, and there's some stuff at the end I didn't love, but overall, that's a movie I'll return to. Sasquatch Sunset, that's the Jesse Eisenberg, Riley Coe movie. I think it's Riley Coe. Bigfoot movies. There's some wild shit in this movie. But I will say, this is ranked at 27. We're still at the 4 stars. There is a scene, I don't know if it's going to make it, but in Golden Geeks, I would fight for best scene right now. It's crushing, very well done scene, and I'm excited to hopefully talk about that in the future. But yeah, this one took me by surprise how much I like it, and they really went for it. Inside Out 2 at 26. Liked it, a little less than the original. Didn't love all the emotions. Just even some stuff with Riley that they do. I get it because the emotions control, but it's just like, oh, I don't know. So just didn't hit as strong as the first one, nearly as strong to me. Didn't hit those levels. First Omen, 25, then hit or Blink Twice at 24. First Omen really liked. There's tons of good imagery in there. The actress that played that main role did a fantastic job. Some gross, very devil-like symmetry. Um, Again, this is one where in the third act they have to really emphasize that, oh, this is connected to the Omen. It's like, well, we know it's called the First Omen, but I think it kind of hurt the movie for me, especially in that last act. Now we're getting in the top 23, which is the 4.5. 4.5. So we got greatest hits. Really enjoyed this. This is Lucy Boyd and David Corenswet. Gonna be the new Superman. It's a movie where she can go back in time if she listens to I think it's certain pieces of. Oh no, I think it's just no. And no, I think it can't be music. It's certain things that she gets triggered by something. She can go back in time. It's like a memory, which I love. It's kind of like if you've been in a relationship that failed and you see, maybe their friend or like a movie you guys liked and you get brought back to that moment. That's what this does, but it's literally that, she's getting over a relationship and it keeps bringing her back to this past relationship. And she can change the past, but again, she has to be careful with it. I'd say it's not as good as About Time, but it's like it's like the lower class About Time. I highly recommend it. I recommend it. And again, here's your excuse. Superman's coming out, Dave Cornswet's in there, go watch it. And then, see for yourself. And you say, oh, I'm watching because Superman's there. But I guarantee you'll always like it because I think it's like a cute movie with a fun concept. Lucy Boyden is great. I recommend everybody. It's a smaller one, but please go check it out. It's on Disney Plus and Hulu. You got Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. We did a review for that. Also, that was good. Or Orion in the Dark. Really, really enjoyable kids animated movie about kids dealing with the dark. And then it takes some wild swing what it does with there's some time travel in there in a sense. With the stuff with Orion, there's some good themes there and things I wasn't expecting. Me and the girls really like it. So yeah, I got that 21. At one point, that was my number one of the year. I really enjoyed that Orion in the Dark one. So again, it's an anime Netflix film, but give it a shot. Oddity, really like this. This reminded me a lot of Cobwebs last year, where this feels like, and this is stuff I love to make and plan on making. It feels like a grown-up, longer episode of Goosebumps movie because it's like a very here's the plot, here's the setup, here's the weird thing, and go. Yeah, really enjoyed it. Had a good time with it. I think ended maybe a little abruptly, and there's some stuff I would like to a little bit more fleshed out, but very good job. Immaculate with Sydney Sweeney. You've talked about this in the news, but yeah, this was fun possession church horror, and Sydney Sweeney continues to be great. I definitely have her in that top 10 list. It's not just because, yeah, of course, gorgeous looking girl, right? But we saw in Euphoria, she has the fucking goods. She's a great, great actress. Quiet Place Day 1. Obviously, we got a review for that, so go check that out. We're at 18 right now. 17, I just spoke about this a couple weeks ago in a newscast. Super/Man, the Christopher Reeve story. If you are a fan of Superman, Christopher Reeve, DCU, this is a must watch. Again, I said in the newscast, I appreciate that they told his story, made you feel for him, but also would show hey, there's some things he did that, maybe people could argue he's a dick or an asshole or just made a mistake, right? And I like when docs do that because it's not just suns and rainbows. At 16, we got Challengers. Great movie. I got to rewatch because Emily still has yet to see it. It could go up to a 5. I remember there's specifically a few things that I wanted some more. I just feel like it's missing. It feels like when you see a TV movie and some stuff had to be edited down, there's some stuff that I just wanted more of. I guess you could leave it to your interpretation, but yeah, just could have got over. But still, Challengers is great. Zendaya's fucking phenomenal. Josh O'Connor and the other guy, I forget. That final fucking tennis scene is out of this world. The score, my God. Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. That track is one of the tracks I've listened to the most. It's the Match Point redux or remix or whatever. That's up there. Probably my Spotify rap somewhere. Lisa Frankenstein, number 15. It's What's Inside. If you like, mystery thrillers and you are a person in real life that likes games like Werewolf or Mafia or bluffing games, watch this. It's best to not know anything going in. Really, really good. This is probably my biggest surprise of the year for It's What's Inside. And next to that is another big surprise is Lisa Frankenstein. I said this on Newscast recently. Saw those trailers, did not enjoy what I was seeing, and surprisingly Loved it. It's dark cute. It has such a heart to it, even though it's covering some very messed up stuff. Highly recommend if you didn't watch it. If you think, hey, I don't know if this would be for me, even if it's next Halloween, give it a go. 13, I got Love Lies Bleeding. I've talked about that before. Don't think everything hits in that movie, but top notch performances from Kristen Stewart and Katie O'Brien. Love the story. There's some weirdisms as well that happened. I think they went too far, but yeah, I really like this. And this to me was like a star-making performance for Katie O'Brien. I want to see her in a bunch of stuff. And then finally, we're at top 12. I just say finally because Nora. So I saw Nora, this movie that I like Sean Baker's work, but I'm not like, oh, he's one of my favorites. I'm gonna go back and probably do rewatches of his stuff. Um, but we had talked about some newscast, and when I saw this trailer, and not to give much away, but it's in the trailer, it's this girl's a stripper, meets a guy, he makes a proposition of you be my wife and I'll pay you a bunch of money and deal. And it's of course not as simple. This movie, now I've not seen obviously Nosferatu, so maybe Lily Rose Depp will make an argument for this, but this, similar to Poor Things, where it's not a perfect movie, I don't have it as a 5, we're still in the 4.5s, but like Mikey Madsen to me, as right now from what I've seen, is a shoe-in to win this Oscar. She is fucking phenomenal. I think Act 1 of this movie it was like a 5, 10 star. It's fantastic. The pacing of it, the writing, the dialogue, the musical choices. Act 3 is really good. There's some great moments with Mikey Madsen, some very emotional stuff. Act 2 is where this gets messy for me because there's two things that happen without spoiling. There's other characters in the movie. There's a character, and it's not that Mikey Madsen goes away. I'm not spoiling anything. She's around. She's in the whole movie, but there's some characters that get introduced that kind of take the forefront. And I was so into what Madsen was doing, which I feel, I love doing, love being right, love throwing hashtag Trash told you. I reviewed Scream. Obviously, I'd seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but the second Scream that they, or whatever, the new screens that they did that they just called Scream, whatever they did with the new cast. I had sung her praise, said, man, this girl, she's fucking good, and she could be something one day with the right people. I'm paraphrasing, but I just said she's going to be a big star because you can just see there's people that are good actors, but then there's people that are great actors and then also just have like charisma for days. They have the thing that you can't teach, and that's what Mikey Madsen has. And that's the thing where, so for this, the second act to me drags. It takes the like the importance away from, not importance, it just, Honora's not the main focus. She's around a lot, but she's not the main focus, so that takes it away because Mikey Madsen's so good in the movie. I think you could shave off 10 to 15 minutes here easily. Now, there is lots of comedy happening in the middle there, so if people love everything that's happening, I could see, hey, no, I want to keep that as my favorite. But I just felt like it was going too long, and the movie felt like it had an urgency. It didn't get to that level, but there's certain things that lead up that feel like they're trying to go for a uncut gems type of, man, this is intense, we got to get this done, let's go. They had that Act 1, Act 2 was the place to do it again, especially with the editing, and they just didn't do it. They decided that was the route they were going to go, which is fine. And then I just also have a few like character motivation questions where it just feels like, hey, this could if this happens, this would be a big problem. But like they let it potentially happen a lot of times. Like I don't want to be specific, but it's just like I can't feel like this is really important if they don't feel it's really important, right? But Mike, it is worth it. It's still a great movie, and this is a movie that I don't think it'll go up like Long Legs. It keeps going up, and I think that's almost at a 5-star for me, 5 out of 5. I don't think this will go up because my problems of, Honora not being the focus, being too long in the middle, and the pacing of it, and also some character choice I don't understand. I don't think are going to go away. So it's like Poor Things where I had that too. It's like, oh, I want to give it a 5, a perfect score, but I can't. But she is fucking dynamite. A lightning rod to me. It's like obviously she wins Oscars, a star-making performance, but it's like a kick the door down. It's like me at the wedding being like, hey, it's Lupita Nyong'o, Florence Pugh, Emma Stone. I'm gonna crown one of you the best actresses of the current day. She kicked down the door and said, I object. It is worth it for her performance alone. And I think it's one of those movies that if it was a different actress, might not be as strong or high as my list. So I could see it climbing up because I have it below right now. in my starting of top 10. These are my last movies that are 4.5. So we all have reviews for all these movies, so you can go find them on the feeds. Um, so Honora at 12, I got Civil War at 11, Alien Romulus at 10, Long Legs at 9, and Monkey Man at 8. I need to see Honora again because maybe it could go past those. I don't think it will reach the top 7 echelon of like the perfect scores. And again, as I say, my scores are a mixture of just feeling and vibes, enjoyment, and critical. If you were to ask me a critical list, my ratings here would be different. Like something like next is Deadpool and Wolverine, that's at 7, right? I give that a 10 out of 10. If you were to say, Travis, sit down, use just your film brain, take your comic book side, is that a 10 out of 10 movie? No, absolutely not. But my enjoyment and just the feeling of it, it gets it up there. So Nora, and same thing, maybe just my enjoyment over time, I might just push it that way. Sometimes I've wanted to with Poor Things, but then that third act for me, I'm not the biggest fan. But it is, if you can't see in theaters, and it's still a great movie. Like I feel like I'm maybe the reason I feel like a little more negative on it because I kind of thought it was going to be for sure my top 10. And when it wasn't, and I was watching it knowing, oh, I don't think it is, I was like a little disappointed, but that's why I want to see it again. And I will. I'm excited to talk to Emily about it because I like to make her watch the Oscar stuff. Sometimes she's happy, sometimes she's not. But it is like, it's a tour de force performance, and it is an I'm here moment. You're gonna see Mike Madsen in a lot of stuff, and that's why I would rewatch it. It's like if I can rewatch X-Men Wolverine Origins because I go, oh, I like Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. I'll definitely be watching this because the Honora character was so fun. But like I said, lucky number 7 I got Deadpool and Wolverine. Number 6 I got Maxine, which I'm probably the highest person on my letterbox. I'm a 5 and 5. I need to watch it one more time because I did feel on a second watch it wasn't as strong. I didn't feel that it was so lesser than that I took it down a review. I don't think that. And same thing like Maxine, it's like, oh, I think that's a better made movie than Deadpool and Wolverine. And there's some stuff with the third act where it's like, okay, like it's tough because I go like, oh, now knowing the killer, some of these scenes don't hit as well. But when you watch the whole trilogy, it really helps you there. So I'm gonna keep it there for now. And now my top 5, Strange Darling. This fuck man, it's tough. I haven't decided between this and Wild Robot what my Golden Geek pick is gonna be that the other guys have to watch. But I'm not gonna say too much because everyone said that and they're completely right. Go into the movie blind. I don't even want to compare what it is. Now, I'm not trying to also make it sound like this is the greatest movie. No, it just does things a certain way where if I were to say, it's not like this, right? But if I were to say, I don't know. Here we go. If I were to say, oh, it's like Fight Club, you go, okay, it's a little trippy. There's probably Imaginary Friend. It's not that. But if I make a comparison to the movies it is like, you would catch it. The same way, it's not going to be on the same scale because Nora is going to possibly be Oscar winner. Willa Fitzgerald, who I've been watching since the Scream TV series, has come a long way. In that show, she's a fine actress. There's other things I've seen she's fine. She's very good in The Fall of the House of Usher. But this is the same thing. She's objecting right with Mikey Madsen. It's tough when I have my top 10 of actors and actresses that I want to make that list one day. It is getting tougher and tougher for the current generation. And Willa Fitzgerald, this was a I'm fucking here, pay notice to me. And now, because the movie's not the biggest, I guarantee lots of studios might go after her because, like, well, we know she can bring the juice, but we don't got to pay her like she brings the juice in a sense, right? We're like after Honora, and if she wins the Oscar, Mikey Madsen's asking quote's going to go up. This is a bit more under the radar, but the other guy, I can't remember his name, was like Kyle Gallner or something. He's really good too, but yeah, it is a ride. Definitely check it out. Definitely, I think Mike was like, oh, I saw this new, it has some Travisisms. Like, yeah, it's a Travis coded movie. Love it. It's a real good time. So go watch Strange Darling. I might make that my Golden Geeks pick, like I said, because I would have it in multiple categories, visuals, and definitely performance, maybe even movie, because I got it in my top 5. So for me, if I was doing my Golden Geeks, it'd be in here. But again, that doesn't spoil it because there's 3 different guys on the panel. So there's always a movie or two that I don't agree with. Number 4, The Wild Robot. Talked about that before. Just a beautiful movie, crying multiple times. Man, I can't wait to own that and watch it again with the girls. And it could, like, I think Strange Darling solidified there. Wild Robot could go past the next one, Furiosa. Don't know if it could go the next one after that, The Substance. You can go check out The Substance review. We did that. Furiosa, we did that review. You check that out. And then number one, Dune Part 2. As I've said before, I did a mini review, right? For me, when I was watching, I love Substance. Substance is a movie I'm going to watch. It's like a salt porn. I'm going to be watching many, many times. We just reviewed that. Check it out. Furiosa, again, great for that franchise. I'll watch it back to back or front and forth Mad Max. Great filmmaking, but there's just something about Dune Part 2 where you rarely get it. There's only so few times you can get this feeling, but it is, man, I might be watching one of the greatest movies ever made. And now maybe you might go and watch it. And I've actually not watched it again, but you might watch, oh, you pick out this, you pick out this. Maybe it's not. Or someone says, oh, there's this issue. But when you get that feeling, because I've seen movies where it's like, okay, Endgame, Portals. That is like, this is like greatest film experience. I'm so hyped. Wow, my energy is out the roof. But I would never say, but Endgame, one of the greatest movies ever made. Dune, multiple times, I was like, this is on that list. To me, that list of it's a finite list, but when I think of the greatest movies of all time, Dune 2, especially more from a filmmaking standpoint, but could be on there, especially in the sci-fi blockbuster genre, it's on there. But for overall film, I think it's up there. I think they're just as special as those Lord of the Rings films, but for space, So there we go. We have done it. As you can hear, my throat is hurting. Usually try and keep Travis told you to an hour, especially now that the gimmick's off, but hour and a half. But I think it was worthy to do this for the last episode. But yeah, that's it for me. Calling it a wrap. I'm going to go walk off to the sunset for 2024, rest up, get some R&R. Again, and I don't even know if this show will come back, but I just want to say I appreciate each and every one of you that have listened and downloaded to Geek First, and especially Travis Told You, because that is a solo venture. I appreciate everyone that keeps listening while I'm gone, and will, hopefully when I come back, it'll be a bunch of people. They'll be like, who's this fucking guy? Kind of like what Dylan got when he come back. Like, who's this guy? And it's like, oh yeah, I used to be in the podcast. But no, I am looking forward to time off, but I will miss doing this. I love having an outlet. I love that you guys are always giving me ideas or questions. Yeah, it's always a blast. So there'll definitely be, I'm excited for a break, but I am going to miss this whole thing. I'm going to miss ranting. I'm going to miss, just random stuff, newscasts, reviews. I'm going to miss the Trash Told You, where I can just sit down and get my thoughts right to you, give you little scoops here and there. And I will, if I haven't done it already, I will do it. But before, or even maybe if the baby comes and I'm home, I said when we won our first film festival, I would give you behind the scenes of our second film, some images, maybe a video. I will do that for 3 as well. So if you're a patron, get ready on the phase 5 tier or phase 2 tier up. I will post some behind the scenes as like a thank you, because now we've won 2 more. I've just been busy, but you will get them. And there's some fun stuff there. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, I can literally say this because I don't know, but it's been a blast. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for listening to me these past 9 years. Like I said, it's not goodbye. It's just see you later. As the great Gandalf wizard said, I know he didn't say this part. It's been a crazy month, especially for you American listeners. Crazy time. Just keep your heads up. Be nice to people. Fuck the people that are mean to you. Cut them out of your lives. Just try and enjoy your life, whatever that means. Reading a book, playing video games, having sex, masturbation, eating junk food. Keep it healthy. Don't go too crazy. You don't want to get any health issues. Go to the gym, go for a walk, read a book. Read a comic book, I think I said that. Take a craft, whatever you do, all we can do and decide what to do with is what the I fucked up the quote. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to us. And I always think about that from Gandalf. So that's why whatever's happening in your life, because there's always gonna be ups and downs, make sure you're just living it up as much as you can and making yourself happy. And I can actively say this, that I do not know when you'll hear from me next, but I promise you, it'll not be boring.